Karita Parks with Bowie TV. I am here with Mike Waters, speaker, author, and trainer.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. And that was a smooth intro
Yeah,
too. I just want to just throw that out there.
We were having a little fun with that
Yeah.
beforehand.
Yep.
But so Mike, we've been seeing you working your way around Radio Row.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah. So it encompasses two different areas. So I have a youth program that works dominantly with high school athletes transitioning to college, and then college into the pros. And then secondary, once they become pros, or maybe college is the end.
Yeah.
Now we work on that transition from athlete to entrepreneurship or to their career. So just really working on athletes and making sure that their identity doesn't get too trapped in them being an athlete.
Right.
Because if so, when it's over, they feel like they're lost and really have no direction. But in reality, they're more than prepared for the quote unquote real world. So we're just teaching it. We're training it and teaching it.
Now, have you seen, because you're a former athlete yourself.
Yes.
So have you seen that? Is that what inspired you? Have you seen just throughout your own experience?
Yes.
Athletes getting caught up and that's their identity,
Yeah.
and then they're lost and don't know the next steps
Yep.
for themselves afterwards.
Yep, 100%. So on a personal level, it happened with me when I got done playing sport. I started my business. And for the first 3 years, I was really lost because my brain was like, I've never been in business before. I don't understand it. I got to learn all this. So it was really almost like a negative energy. And so the business wasn't really taking off like I wanted it to.
Right.
About 3 years in, for whatever reason, the light bulb came on. It was like, man, you're prepared for this. You've been a football player your whole life. You get up for practice. You stay after, run extra sprints. You're in the weight room. You got film study. You got goals. You discipline, structure, everything you need to be successful in business. And so once those kind of light bulbs came on, I just changed my mindset. And then since then, man, we had great growth. I own multiple businesses now. And so now my athletes that come, and I see that look in their eye, like, I'm lost. I'm like, what do I do now? And I'm like, just reassuring them, you're prepared, you're ready.
Because for you didn't have anyone to turn to.
No.
I'm assuming, and that's kind of what inspired
Exactly.
this. Okay.
Yep, yeah. I look at it like God turned my light bulb on,
Right.
and now I got to
So you
turn everybody else's.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So you can turn their light
that's
bulb
literally
on.
what happened. Literally, yep.
So tell us, I'm always interested, how do you get your clients? Who are some of the clients that you've worked with?
Yeah, so there's been a number. It's Super Bowl weekend, so we'll say Brandon Marshall is one of my NFL players.
Okay.
That I've worked closely with hand to hand. I guess in a nutshell, it's more like mentoring and guidance. So it's just reassuring them of their capability, but then also my 20 years of business experience, I'm able to really help with the projects, whether it's investing, whether it's a different industry. So I kind of have enough versatility to at least give them some guidance in that right direction. So he was one, a few others, Corey Toomer, Xavier Grimble. There's been a handful, and then some of the younger athletes. Keyshawn Nixon, who's with the Packers right now. So these are athletes that I've had the opportunity to just mentor and give them a different viewpoint to let them know, hey, the money's great right now, everything's great right now, but guess what? You got to figure out probably another 40, 50, 60 years after sport. And that's really what we kind of base it all on.
Yeah. So I know when you're working with the younger athletes, you're able to set them up, I would say, better for a transition because you're starting so young.
Yeah.
How is it when you're working with a professional athlete who's already been in the business?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that transition could be a little tougher because they didn't start earlier. So how far ahead would you say is important to prepare them for that transition?
Yeah. I think coming out of high school, going into college is when you need to start thinking about it. And for my older or my pro athletes, I always ask this question first. I go, okay, who are you? And depending on how they answer that, usually tells me where they are.
That's funny because I used to ask athletes, what would you want people to know about you outside of football?
Yep.
And some had an answer, and then some were dumbfounded.
I play football.
Ooh, right. So I can see how that can tell you all you need to know.
Yep, that's it. So if I say, who are you? And you say, I'm a football player, I play for the Niners. No, you're not. That's what you do. That's not who you are. That's what you do.
Right.
And so just getting them to go, oh, I never thought of it like that. Okay, now we can start developing who you are.
Yeah.
And now when football's over, it's irrelevant because you played football. That's what you did.
Right.
But now who you are remains.
So tell me, just take me through a mini process of how you help an athlete kind of identify who they are outside of the sports that they're playing.
Yep. So I start with characteristics. And for most of the athletes, not all, the characteristics are usually in a pretty good spot.
Okay.
Not all, but I start with characteristics because I want to really paint the picture of what it took to accomplish what they accomplished. I don't care if it's just college. If you never make it pro, how many hours did you invest into that career? Watching film, studying, weight room, practice, all these hours that you contributed. How much discipline did it take? How many times did you want to go out and you're like, you know what, y'all, I can't go tonight? You know what I mean? Like, these are all the decisions, and some of them don't make the right decision in that moment, but we won't talk about that.
But that's what you're there for.
But you see what I'm saying? So I like to start with that.
Okay.
Because the more I could paint the picture of what the character they already are, now it's easy. Now we're just picking the route. Business, entrepreneurship, career, whatever it may be. Now we're just picking the path. But we already know the characteristics of success are already engraved.
Great. So we're going to wrap up shortly. But before we do that, I want to ask you, is there just a gratifying moment that you can recall, like through this process, through your career, through this business, that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'll give you a quick one. So one of my athletes that trained with me from high school, trained through college, had about a 4-year pro athlete career. He walked into our facility when it was all said and done. He had retired, kind of announced it like, I'm done.
Okay.
He walked in, he gave me a hug, and he went, it was never about football, was it? And it just triggered everything in my head to say, you caught me. It never was about football.
Yeah.
So I tell people, I use the sport you love just to get you in the door, to open you up, to have the conversation. And then when it's all said and done, you'll look up and go, okay, you were preparing me for life.
That was that light bulb.
Yeah,
that light bulb
I hit it in football, I hit it in baseball, I hit it
Yeah.
in basketball, but in reality, it was for life. So that was probably one of my most, my proud moment that just said, okay, conscious, now this is what I'm doing until the end.
That's great. Well, it's Super Bowl weekend.
Yes, it
So
is.
you know I can't let you go
Turn
without
up.
getting your prediction.
Oh, yeah, this is easy.
Okay.
Niners all day, let's go.
Niners.
Niners.
Now I have an idea why you said that, but
Okay.
why do you think the Niners over the Chiefs?
Okay, so here's what I think, and I love Patty Mahomes, as they want to call him. I love him. However,
Mahomes,
all that stuff, and I love it. I love watching them play. But I just really want to see the Niners. They haven't won a Super Bowl in so long now. And I was a Niner fan when I was young. Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, all those guys.
Yeah.
So to see them there now is big. And then just to kind of put my little stamp on it, before the season started, I put my bet on the Niners to win the Super Bowl. And guess what we're doing this Sunday? So I got a nice size ticket that's waiting on me.
Coming your way.
If they win.
And
So
you're
at
in
this
Vegas
point,
of all places.
hey, I'm Niner jersey, everything. I'm all in Sunday.
All right. Well, Mike, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, for sure. So the best way is on Instagram. Shoot me a DM, anything like that. I'm an open book, so I'll help in any way I can. But that's Mike Waters Official on Instagram. Spelled just as simple as it sounds, Mike Waters Official. And shoot me a DM, anything, man. I'm an open book. I love working with athletes and parents of athletes just to help educate and any guidance or any resources I can provide.
Great, because parents are key in their athletes' lives.
100%.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
is Karita with LVllI TV. We're out.